This episode is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one solution for building a cool-looking and professional website. So far, our adventures in hunting for Italian dream homes for sale have taken us to some of Italy's most famous and iconic regions. From the sunny Calabria, Puglia, and Sicily in the south, to the rolling green hills of Umbria and Tuscany in its center. Well, today I'm hunting in a new region, Campania, on the legendary and much-loved Amalfi Coast. In today's episode, we'll explore the gorgeous town of Amalfi, try some of its typical food, and visit two storybook historical dream homes. One in town and the other immersed in an olive and lemon grove way up overlooking the sea. You won't want to miss this. Buongiorno. Today we're in Amalfi. We're on the Amalfi Coast. Really beautiful. This kind of mythological, legendary town of Amalfi on the Tyrrhenian Sea. Really, you couldn't even dream up, with the greatest fantasy imagination in the world, you couldn't dream up of a place this beautiful. We'll see if we get some sun today. I don't know if it's going to be cloudy, but let's go into town. We'll explore it, and then we're going to see three beautiful dream homes. Spectacular, guys. Andiamo. Let's see what makes Amalfi so spectacular. We enter into the old town via the Porta della Marina, the main gateway into the city for over a millennium. Amalfi, founded by the Romans fleeing from barbarian invasions of the 5th century, built its wealth on trade. And its splendor is most visible in its main square, Piazza Duomo. At its center is the Fountain of St. Andrew, built in local marble and an example of medieval ingenuity, combining artistic beauty with the practical need of providing water to local inhabitants. Its current Baroque form was completed in 1760. The fountain gives the impression that it's in dialogue with the piazza, and especially with the overlooking Cathedral of St. Andrew. This marvel of religious architecture is Amalfi's most recognizable symbol, and is classified as an Italian national monument. The current facade actually only dates to the 1800s, rebuilt in a combination of Neo-Moorish and Neo-Gothical styles after the partial collapse of the previous Baroque facade. Entering in via the ornate atrium, you'll be struck by the jaw-dropping beauty of its central nave. The inside retains its exquisite Baroque form, meaning it's brimming with decorative art of all types, from the marble pulpit to the complex organ to the icons and paintings surrounding the central altar. Particularly beautiful is the cathedral's gold-plated ceiling with frescoes of the life of St. Andrew. The remains of this famous apostle are found in the church's crypt, having been brought over from Constantinople following the Fourth Crusade. So here's a fun fact about Amalfi that you may or may not have known. In medieval times, along with Pisa, Venice, Genova, Amalfi was one of the 4 Repubbliche Marinare, so one of the 4 sea-bearing republics controlling the commercial routes around Italy and around the Mediterranean. A true seafaring power, if you will. The population at that time was 40,000 inhabitants, whereas now it's a much more humble 5,000, but still a monumental, beautiful historical center. Walking up from the piazza is the main street, surrounded by fascinating layers of tight alleyways. This is the main commercial boulevard of the town. Despite its fame as a tourist destination, I found its shops to be very genuine and frequented at this time of year mostly only by the locals. In my opinion, Amalfi definitely lives up to its reputation. No visit in Amalfi would be complete without a stop in the historical pastry shop of Andrea Panza, whose delicious scents filled the main square in the morning. It was founded in 1830, before the current facade of the cathedral was built. So we're doing breakfast in Amalfi. This is the most typical bar, the oldest one in this central piazza. And we're going with typical treats from Campania, this region here. And it looks really good. We have, this is a sfogliatella with pastry cream and amarena, so kind of sour cherries. super crunchy, super good. Oh my god, guys. And this is a very special one. I thought it was a tetta della monaca. They call it here a delizia al limone, so like a delicious delicious lemon treat. Typical of Amalfi, lots of lemons grow up on there here on the slopes of the cliffs. Let's try it out. You know how a beautiful town like Amalfi attracts so many visitors? Or a beautiful home staging attracts buyers to a home for sale? Well, this is what Squarespace, the sponsor of today's video, does for your online presence. It is so intuitive that even I could build up a website faster than I can film a home tour video. Firstly, the design intelligence is like having your own interior designer for your website. It combines Squarespace's design expertise with AI to create a site which is uniquely fit for your needs. Squarespace Payments is also transformative. It's easy to set up, and you can start taking orders immediately. And its SEO tools are the perfect tool to optimize your site's performance, helping you get seen by your ideal audience online and to rise to the top of search results like a 360-degree drone shot. So if you want to give it a try, go to squarespace.com/JustDreamItaly for a free trial. And when you're ready to go live to the world, use my code JustDreamItaly to get 10% off the purchase of your first website or domain. Any visit to Campania wouldn't be complete without trying a cuopo and some typical treats in a frigitoria. And that's what we have here. Wasn't originally planning on stopping here, but still have some room in my stomach.
Gonna try a cuzzetiello.
So this is what's called a cuopo. It's basically a cup of fried food. In this case, it's fried seafood, the typical here. We're on the coast. Obviously comes with a bit of lemon. Fried calamari. Next up is a cuzzetiello. This is bread. It looks like it's a sandwich, but they actually carved out the middle of the bread to fill it in. This is with octopus and potatoes. Looks good. So it's actually very interesting, just a bit of an impression here about Amalfi. So I'm here in December. Obviously in the summer months it's jam-packed with tourists, but now there aren't really too many tourists around, but the town is full of local lively town life. So anyways, we're headed to the two dream homes that we're going to be seeing today. The first one canceled. We're not going to have enough time to see. We probably wouldn't have had enough time to see it anyway. We'll save it for trip 2 to this area of Italy. But anyways, the two homes that we're going to be seeing, one is in the town around the bend in a place called Atrani, and the other one's up in the hills right above Amalfi. So we're going to have a bit of a variety of things to see.
Sento bella soltanto tu e ci romanzi e la notte sogni che fai l'amore chissà con chi sembra un po' a bicicletta che voglio una presa che sta può fa che capillo innanzi all'occhio tutta gente sotto e non sai frenare.
Okay, so we arrived to the home that we're seeing today in Atrani. This is a beautiful historical apartment with views overlooking the sea, overlooking the cathedral. Just a really, really charming property. I believe it's 190 square meters, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You're gonna fall in love with it. I have. Let's go see. We are in Atrani, a beautiful fishing village right around the corner from Amalfi, and this noble home, this noble apartment in a palazzo from the 1800s is right up this series of stairs leading us up the cliff. We will enter into that courtyard right under the arch. This is a shared courtyard as a shared part of the property. There is a beautiful nook of that arch with a fresco, kind of giving a monumental flair to our entrance here. This is the courtyard lined with plants on that left side, and up on that platform, citrus trees of orange and lemon. These are really the typical types of plants that grow up here on the Amalfi Coast. This is the palazzo, at least this is the entrance corner of the palazzo. We're going to be on the first floor, but the entrance is here on the ground floor. So you'll see immediately that this is a very historical apartment. We have these low, kind of small, cute windows, very quaint, with the wooden shutters, and it's going to be a series of stairs going upwards. The walls are lined with historical photos and historical paintings of this area, and the furniture and the decorations of this apartment are going to be in that same style. This is the entrance to our first floor apartment with that stem, that noble stem on the glass looking over it. Now, the apartment is kind of structured in this way. There's this side of the apartment to the right, which has the sleeping and living rooms. And then to the left, we have the dining, kitchen, and the studio area. We're going to enter into this main area first. And the first impression you'll have is, yes, this is really a quality, noble apartment with the terracotta floors and the beautiful hand-painted alfresco ceilings. Most of the ceilings have frescoes in them in a neoclassical kind of themes. So everything is very light because we have the doors and windows to the right. And walking through this living room brings us into the first bedroom with an absolutely jaw-dropping frescoed ceiling. So this is a beautiful bedroom also because you have a balcony, whose view I will show you in a minute, and which is just, it leaves you without words, really. So this is the view. We're right next to the main church in Atrani, which gives it that very beautiful characteristic, the postcard characteristic that it has, overlooking the sea on this cliff. And in terms of views, I don't think you can get much better than this. We're on the Amalfi Coast, and you have your own balcony, your own personal balcony onto the sea here. So this is a Trani. As you can see, it is this kind of maze of small historical buildings up in layers going up the coast. But we will go back in. I'll give you another look at this really beautiful living room. As you can see, architecturally and stylistically, just really, really beautiful. We're gonna go up. I'll go off now into the this terrace. This is an exclusive terrace of around 170 square meters, and it's part of the property. So plenty of space to have your own kind of piece of outdoor paradise while you're here. Get some sun, enjoy the sea breeze, and take it all in for what it is. It's really just one of the most exclusive, beautiful historical places, not only in Italy, but kind of, in the world. This is the view back, so you can kind of see the facade of the palazzo. It is this first floor, and just that backdrop of the cliff up behind it is really something that's unique. So that was the first balcony that we looked out of. That's that bedroom, and we'll head up the stairs back into the inside. So this is a home from the 1800s, as I said. There's not much that you have to do to it. It's been very well maintained. There's that fresco again. We're back in the living room. You can see that back wall has a beautifully fitted bookcase with a mandolin there in the back. A mandolin is actually a typical instrument from Campania, although it's not used as often nowadays. It is a part of the history here of this area. This brings us into bedroom number 2. This is an internal bedroom. Once again, very beautiful. Also, the lighting coming down from the ceiling it's a very beautiful, beautiful lamp. And that brings us into the suite. So this is The main bedroom, the biggest one, this also has terracotta floors, not in a design, but in that natural earthy tone. Once again, beautiful painted ceiling. And this bedroom has also the storage space behind it. So a very spacious walk-in closet. So this as well is, we're on the corner. So in one direction, we have that window, and out here we have that final balcony overlooking that terrace with the view. This is the furthest one towards the end of that terrace. So it's the closest also to that church that we had on the left. And we're going to come back in and make our way all the way through once again the this, what I was calling the right wing of the building. So the living area, the sleeping area, and it's just, I'd say, as dreamlike as you can think of, just so full of history. And when I was in here, I was really appreciative of being in such a beautiful space like this. I love history, and when architecture combines history, especially in a very local flavor like this is a very different flavor than the homes that we would see in Puglia or in Tuscany. This is very, very much so a home from the Amalfi Coast. This is the studio, so a really beautiful, small, arched ceiling room here. And I think what makes it so cute is, even though it's small, it's not very tall, you do have equally beautifully painted fresco on the ceiling. You have the terracotta floors. And here I'm giving you a better look at the wooden details of the doors and the door frame. Just really high quality historical materials used. This is where we have the bathroom on this floor. So a full bathroom with a bathtub, toilet, bidet, sink, laundry area. And it brings us into what's the dining area. So this has a different type of terracotta floor. And this window is looking back at the back side of the apartment. This did originally, it appears, to have a frescoed ceiling, although it's kind of been painted over white. So apparently it wasn't in the same condition to have been renovated as the other ones were. So the other ones are in spectacular condition also because of an apparent very well done renovation in the past. So this is the living room. Once again, a very spacious, very beautiful living room. And then it brings us into the historical kitchen. So this is a very cute kitchen. As you can see, it's not an open kitchen concept, the modern day concept of putting everything together. No, this is a very historical Italian kitchen where you're going into the back, you're going to prepare the food, and when the food is ready, you bring it out into a dining room. The original ovens, the original stoves are still there. So originally you would put the charcoal or wood below the pots there on those steel doors at the bottom, and you'd heat up the pots on top of it. But this is a very historical Italian kitchen. So this is house number 1 in the historical center of Trani. So historical, so charming. I hope you fell in love with it the way that I fell in love with it. If you're interested in it, write me an email. It is for sale and can get you a visit if you come here. Now we're off to see home number 2 on the cliffs overlooking the sea. Andiamo.
Io per te mi sono cotto e tu mi dici sciocco, ma che tu fa? Tinta casa non può fa mai niente, ma in un servizio che mette a fa. Sai sempre là che mano rinde mano, non dai aiuto ma mo come.
So we've made it to the second home. We're up on the cliffs, on the beautiful hillsides of the Costa Amalfitana, the Amalfi Coast, right outside of Amalfi. It's about a 15-minute drive up the winding hills, and we have a spectacular view and a very special property which I wanted to show you for property number 2. This is from the 1200s or 1300s originally, the structure. Obviously, it's been renovated in the meantime. It consists of 6 different apartments, 4 of which are renovated, 2 of which still have to be done, 284 square meters, and around 2,000, 2,300 square meters of property, of garden around it. So let me show you this property, another beauty today. I'm excited to show you these views. Andiamo. So we're going to the property via this beautifully kept path. This is an ancient pathway which has been here for centuries, accessing the properties which were built along this cliffside. There below is obviously the sea. We're 250 meters above the sea up here. The valley below is called the Santa Croce Valley, so Valley of the Holy Cross. Really a spectacular location which really speaks for itself. So regarding the exact location, we're in what's called Poggerola, which is a hamlet of Amalfi. And the parking for this property, must be said, is from where I accessed it behind me, or around 200 meters or so back in that direction. The property can also be accessed via parking below and then walking upstairs. So I'm starting up on the top way. And so this is the start of the property with this beautiful sign here, the mailbox and the doorbells to access it. It's over 2,000 square meters of property, and you can see that there's plenty of space. Much of it is dedicated to olive trees and lemon trees and orange trees, and all of it is very well kept. This is a very particular, obviously, area of Italy, being up on this cliff overlooking the sea, and so it's something amazing to really take in when you're here, because it's this combination of the work of the handwork of people over the centuries who have made various layers going up the cliff, kind of combining agriculture with the beautiful natural landscape of the Amalfi Coast, and it's something to behold. So there we can already start seeing the house, the main part of the property going down. All of this land that we're walking through is part of the property, and the property is currently being rented out as 4 different apartments. It's a 6 apartment property currently, 4 of which are fully renovated and are rented out very regularly and very successfully, according to the owner, during the summer periods and even now. So just to give you a bit of a peek, we're going to be seeing 3 of the renovated apartments, one of which was the 4th one. It was actually rented out when I was there, so we couldn't see that. And there's 2 renovated ones, at the top 2 actually, which still need to be renovated. And it can kind of give you a peek of what the others were like before the current owners renovated it and put it back into its former glory. So this brings us closer to the home. You can see that the fencing all along the path to the house with these wooden beams is very, very, very nice. The stone masonry along the walls is spectacular. And just to note, the air quality when I was there was, as you can imagine, absolutely amazing, with the sea breeze, the green, the citrus fruits, which are in season, starting here in November, December, January. So really a beautiful time. Even though we didn't have sun, I must say this was a really spectacular, peaceful day. And that's what you're getting when you're in a location like this with a property like this. What you want is peace. What you want is landscape. And this is really the best type of landscape that you can get. So all of that aside, we're entering into the first part of the property. This is apartment number 1. So they're all 1-bedroom apartments with a living room, a kitchen, and a full bathroom. All of them have the air conditioning in them to keep them cooler during the summer months. Of course, it's going to naturally be cool because of the closest to the sea, but this certainly helps. This one apartment has a beautiful kind of terrace overlooking the sea below. And you can see the materials used throughout the apartments are very high quality. So you have beautiful tile work, you have the beautiful doors, frames, all used in wood. And what you have here in a structure like this is from the 1200s, is the original cross vault ceiling. So it's not a star vault ceilings like we're used to seeing in Puglia in my channel, but these beautiful ancient cross vaults. This is a property that was mentioned as being seen by travelers centuries ago. So it was worthy of note, and it's actually in the listed as the as part of one of the properties in the architectural patrimony of Amalfi. So it's something very important, very historical. As you can see, the barrel vaulted ceilings, these rounded windows looking over the sea, just a very special property that you have here. So that was apartment number one. Here you have a beautiful outdoor hallway corridor going into a back courtyard. Very beautifully done. This is the back courtyard. That in the back where you see that window is the apartment that was currently let out as I was there, but it is the same quality, used the same materials as the apartment that we just saw. So just imagine what we just saw, that is the same quality that you're getting back there. On this level below, we have the other two apartments. Beautiful views there. That's the Santa Croce Valley that I mentioned before. And this is apartment number two. So you walk in just like the other one, and you have the kitchen, living room area, beautiful light fixtures on the walls with that air conditioning heating unit in the back there. So you can see beautiful backstop there to the kitchen, wooden countertops. And in the back is where you have, going through this beautiful arched little hallway, a full bathroom and the bedroom here to the right. I love the beautiful wooden shutters here on the windows. Very nice. And as you can imagine, this is a very, very peaceful setting. So obviously in the past, this would have been a sort of a farmhouse, not only a family house where a family lives, but a real farmhouse, because these ledges going up the cliffs that were part of the property, they were used for productive agriculture. And you can see there in the back plenty of olive trees, and so lots of olive oil was produced in this area. But also, most likely in the past, vegetables and really subsistence farming for this kind of local community. As I said during our tour of Amalfi, this whole area was inhabited by Romans who were fleeing from barbarians. And so that's really, they became a really self-contained community. Anyways, heading into this next apartment, this is apartment number 3. Same quality materials used as the other apartments. This has a very nice, beautiful backstop with those design tiles along the walls. I think the color palettes used in all the apartments are very nice, with these light beige floors, a bit of blue, little splashes of colors of yellow, of wood tones along the frames of the doors and the windows, and lots of light, lots of very luminous white colors, which are typical of this area. And so here's our nice bedroom number 3. And just to give you a peek out of the window, imagine waking up, opening up your window, and this is the view that you have. Olive trees below you, a valley, and then the Mediterranean Sea, the Turanian Sea, just spectacular. So we'll head back out. So these are the 3 renovated apartments. Now we're gonna swing around, and I did want to show you the apartments that still have to be renovated for 2 reasons. First of all, because they're worth it. So they are part of this historical structure. Beautiful here, nook for keeping some of the wood, and also to kind of show you the work that has been done on these other apartments, because this was a historical building with historical significance. And the owner really poured his heart and soul in kind of bringing back its glory. So these are the 2 upstairs apartments, which are accessible via this gate here to the side. Here's a nice little storage space for the garden, with stairs coming up here to the back. So something you can already see are these arches that are going along, these kind of waved arches along the ceilings of the building, and those are for the arches below of the ceilings. And from here, just spectacular views below, of the architecture along the cliffs. Just a really, really special area. And so here are the two apartments. This is apartment number 1, kind of looking up. So this is the part that really has a lot to be redone. Most of the stonework has fallen, but it can be fully refurnished. And this is the second one, which was starting to be renovated here. So the idea with this one is you have this huge window out in the front, giving you a view of the sea. And then you would build a mezzanine up top where you'd have your bed. So the living room below, the sleeping area up top. Guys, I hope you liked this episode. Like, subscribe, comment below. What did you think of these two houses? If you're interested in either of them, write me an email, marco@justdreamitaly.com. Special thanks to my Patreon members. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. If you're interested in supporting my work in this channel, please check out my Patreon. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.